Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This time, we're on episode 41. The previous episode was absolutely mental. We got a ton of backstory on Father and Hohenheim, who Hohenheim actually is, sort of what Father actually is. We don't know where Father particularly came from. We just know he was the result of some sort of weird experiment with Hohenheim's blood. Either way, we got a ton of background on that. We got the background of what actually happened to Xerxes. It was a really good episode. I had a lot of very interesting and fun and thoughtful discussions on it, if I might say so myself. It was one of my favorite episodes of the series so far as well, I think. I am super ready to see what comes next, so thank you all for joining me. Let's check out this episode. But before that, of course, I do need to remind you of the Patreon. If you want to see the next episodes early, episode 42 is available on the Soul tier. I almost said episode 41. And episode far past that are available over on the Ascended tier. The episodes are also extended length, meaning you get more reaction and more discussion to go along with each episode. I'd be sure to respond to basically all the comments I get on my Patreon, and also the video is clear, meaning that there's no watermarks and all that. I still don't know because I haven't put these back up on YouTube if I will have a watermark, but in case there is, the Patreon versions don't have it. It is the first link in the description, so be sure to head over there and check it out. Let's just jump back into it, I guess. Episode 41. I really can't get over how good this opening song is. Alright, let's see where we pick back up at. Back in the tunnel. Maybe they can blow up the tunnel? Would that interrupt the transmutation seal? Or circle?
Nah, these are all sopping wet. Relax, they wouldn't blow up even if we wanted them to.
What if you, like...
Quit dawdling.
No, that wouldn't work.
They could already be after us.
I was gonna say, like, make Sloth eat them or something. Blow him up. Because he's really hard to kill, I don't know. Maybe from the inside?
The storm is finally past. Start preparing.
Yes, sir.
We can't take any risks with Kimberly and his men, so first chance you get, take out all three of them.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ed doesn't really... Episode 41, The Abyss. Yeah, Ed's not really the killing type. I'm pretty sure that... He's pretty convinced not to do that sort of thing. But I guess we'll have to see.
Hey, hold on a minute. You're not planning on killing them, are you, Major?
Of course we are.
No, I'm not gonna have any part of that. I say
Right.
we should take Kimberly prisoner and try to get some answers.
Do you really think he'll tell us anything?
Yeah, probably
It's too
not.
dangerous to live.
But we don't know that about his men. I mean, for all we know, he could be manipulating them somehow. Forcing
Oh
them to
man,
obey.
this is true.
Be
Ed's right.
but
Ed's
we can't take
absolutely
such a
right.
risk on a possibility.
And yet you're still willing to kill them for one. This isn't like it was with General Raven. There might be another way.
Have you forgotten the first law of Briggs? The careless are the first to die. You show mercy in this place, and I guarantee it's gonna get you or your friends killed.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a pretty tough one. I'm in a weird spot because I simultaneously sort of agree with both of them. I think Ed is probably right. Kimberly's men are probably being like coerced into doing it. They probably wouldn't actually do it. We know this because of the other two Chimeras that kind of we captured and joined to our side or whatever. If I had to take the chance and make a guess, I would assume that Ed is actually probably right. Kimberly's men are probably someone that you can bring onto your side, considering we already had two of the Chimera guys that joined us. But at the same time, I think Miles does have a point, because if it was anybody but Kimberly, I think that maybe there would be a chance. But Kimberly is kind of just a psychopath. I mean, I guess Kimberly's not alone. There are others that this applies to, like the homunculus and whatnot, but Kimberly is a really, really dangerous dude. So much so that I really don't know what the right option is here. But I guess we're gonna have to see how it plays out.
We aren't going to be careless. We're killing Kimberly and the two men with him.
And that's
I'd
tough.
almost forgotten that he's just a kid.
Indeed he is, especially if he's naive enough to think he won't have to kill anyone.
Well, I have to admit that I used to think the same thing.
So did I. But once you've lived through a couple of wars like we have, you'll
Experience changes a lot, that's for sure.
Sometimes killing someone isn't as hard as letting them live. The Elric brothers have certainly chosen the more difficult path.
Interesting.
I guess they like to go against the grain.
Yeah, but in a way, I envy their conviction.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. That was an interesting quote. I'm gonna have to come back and talk about.
We refer to an immortal as a Shinito. It means a true being. These true beings are considered to be perfect souls. And since gold is considered the perfect metal, these beings are also sometimes called Aurelians.
Gold's not a perfect metal.
In other words,
It kind of sucks,
an immortal
usually.
person is seen as a golden being.
In a sense,
Sounds cool, though.
it comes from the man who brought alchemy to Xing. The legend says he was an immortal with golden hair and eyes, and that's where the term first originated.
Interesting.
An
Okay.
alchemist with golden hair and golden eyes, huh? Sounds like Ed and Al.
Over here!
Yeah. Crazy, right? Sometimes when I record these far apart, I don't exactly remember what I talked about in the last episode, so I don't know if I said this already, but I'm going to say it again anyway. I don't know the exact wording or how this was phrased or whatever, but I know that there was a story earlier in the show talking about how one sage from Xerxes went out east and one went out west, and now I am just finally realizing that the one that went out west to Amestris is father, and the one that went out east is to Xing. And just expanding on that a little further, it's interesting because it almost seems like the different forms of alchemy, like the alchemy we have in Amestris versus the alchemy that they have over in Xing, were almost directly influenced by the two different sages. Maybe there's something, I don't know, because it's like, I don't really know how to word or phrase this or describe this better than this, but it almost seems like the forms of alchemy that they have in the different regions were directly influenced by Hohenheim and Father. Like maybe something about them personally affected the way that the alchemies work. And if that's the case, then are they even using like a true alchemy? Is there an alchemy that is unfettered by their own personal, influences? Does that even make any sense? I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm kind of talking out my ass, but it's just kind of a thought I had. Gotta say though, I am really, really enjoying the fact that Hohenheim is being included a lot more into the story now that he's becoming a much less mysterious guy. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Oh, wow, it's so bright.
Well,
I was
they didn't
starting
run
to
into
wonder if we'd
any
make
trouble
it.
yet.
The weather's clear.
Probably
For
just
now.
at Briggs though.
Let's head to Briggs before it turns again.
Thought they were gonna transform and go first. I don't know. Oh, ow! Oh no! Poor Al. He got buried.
You saved me! I got stuck in the snow and then a blizzard buried me.
What are you doing
That's
out here,
that
Al?
sucks. I totally kind of forgot about that.
To warn you guys.
You crossed over? In the middle of that snowstorm?
Well, he doesn't have a body, so
So you cut straight through, bypassing the mind's twists and turns.
Why would you even risk that?
It was the only way to warn you.
Warn us? About what?
Briggs has been taken over by troops from Central.
yeah. So now what? Where do you go now?
They summoned her to Central headquarters. You'll be walking right into their hands if you go there.
Jealous of Scar's chiseled jawline.
Just follow me. Where are you taking us?
There's a mountain village called Osbeck nearby. It shouldn't take us long to get there.
I wonder if it's like
I've been
an
told that some of my people have
Yeah,
taken
I was about to
refuge
say.
in the slums there.
it's like an Ishvalan outpost or something.
It's not like we really have any other options.
Great idea, sir. Let's get going.
Yoki really just is an extra. Nobody in this show feels like an extra, but Yoki feels like an extra.
Well, isn't Mr. Kimbley gonna be suspicious if you just suddenly disappear?
It's okay. Don't worry. Brother's got it all taken care of.
It's gonna be something stupid.
3 men in this squad. There are 5 men in mine, sir.
Each squad is ready then. Spread out and carefully search your designated sector.
Did he just transmute some metal to look like Al or something?
Let's get going.
Yes, sir.
Don't get carried away, Alphonse. There's no reason to call the Major Sir.
It's hard to move around in here. Could
Okay.
make this thing
Gotcha.
lighter?
You're strong, you can handle it. Come on, Kimbley's watching.
No, that armor is crazy though.
Hurry up, come on.
Kimbley's smart though. He really catches on fast. He's not stupid. I have a feeling he may already know.
I heard him mention that he couldn't trust the northern soldiers, so he's only taking the men he brought with him, sir.
I guess he's figured us out then. We'll head them off.
Yeah.
Position snipers near the opening of the mine shaft.
Ironically, 2 of his men already betrayed him, but that might be Kimbley's miscalculation as his own men.
Check the entrance for tracks in the snow. We'll follow them in if you find multiple sets.
Although that guy on the left doesn't look too friendly, I gotta say.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Are they actually gonna do it? Oh, I thought they were gonna shoot his men.
What's wrong? It's Edward. What?
What are you gonna do, Ed? How's this gonna play out?
Kimberly, you should probably let the Briggs soldiers check the tunnels instead. You could get lost in there pretty easily.
The mere fact that you're stopping me is proof that we're in the right place. Now I know that they're down there.
And how is that? Look, I want to catch Scar.
You're trying to buy some time for your snipers to get into position.
Ooh. I told you he's smart. He knows.
I can practically smell the murderous intent in the air around here. It's like a sixth sense I picked up while in Ishval.
They're just standing there talking.
Understandable.
What should I do?
I guess.
Can you still target Kimberly?
Yes, sir.
Then aim carefully and fire.
It's like the most obvious window position ever. They're like super visible. He's just like staring straight at them. There goes your vision. I wonder if we'll ever see Kimberly run. His men transformed into chimeras? Yeah. A monkey and a lion? Yep. Okay. The guy already... I could tell the one guy was gonna be a monkey.
Guys were chimeras. Damn you, Kimberly. I can't see anything. On the bright side, they can't see me either.
There's no point in trying to run, Full Metal.
They probably have increased senses.
You can't hide from us here. We may not see you, but we can smell you.
Yeah, for sure. They're animals now. Ow. Okay. That would hurt like hell.
Full Metal. What's going on in there? Edward, answer me.
Major Miles! These guys are chimeras, and they know how to fight in low visibility. Stay out of here. Trust me.
Oh God. Into the snow pile. He's fine. I feel like they jumped down after him though.
Falling like that's gonna stunt my growth even more. Dynamite, huh? There's one perk to fighting in a mine.
He's probably not going to use it though because he doesn't want to kill him.
Whoa, you might want to keep your distance, guys. These aren't exactly cigars I'm holding.
You idiot. That stuff isn't going to do you any good. It's too damp.
You sure about that? Do you happen to know what dynamite's made of?
Gunpowder?
It's nitroglycerin, isn't it?
Okay.
And nitroglycol. And there's sawdust. Isn't there ammonium nitrate in it too?
Yes, there is. And what's ammonium nitrate made out of?
That's easy.
Ammonia?
Nitric acid and ammonia.
Oh no. Yeah, because ammonia smells horrible. It's gonna mess up their smell. Gotcha. Ew. Piss bomb. Piss stink bomb.
What's that disgusting smell?
That's ammonia. They're downsized to having a sharp nose. I doubt they'll be of much use to you now.
Really clever, actually. Except I don't think it would knock him out, but...
Quickly now that I've lost my hostage.
What'd you expect to happen? Let's make this easy. All I want here is for you to tell me everything you know.
Oh, is that all you
Is
want?
is that all?
I just got out of the hospital and I don't feel like getting banged up fighting a youngster like you. Not to mention that I don't really have the time either.
This is early for this fight to happen, isn't it?
Guess I'll have to speed things up with this.
Oh, he's finally using it.
At least I won't have to
Okay.
search for it now.
But he has two. I don't think Ed knows that he has two. Bro, Kimberly, please. Use your alchemy, dog. Ooh, he cut his symbol.
Stone, and he can't transmute now.
He has a second.
And
Oh, he
now
doesn't.
I've-
Now you've what?
He doesn't know that he has a second. This
So
is
you're
bad.
determined not to kill. How admirable of you. You do realize the advantage that it gives your opponent, though, now, don't you? Instead of finishing me off, you've given me a second chance to kill you.
For sure. Yeah. Fuck, dude.
That sense of mercy is about to get you in a lot of trouble.
He's gonna be okay. Right? He's gonna collapse the entire town into the mine systems. A little bit overkill, though, don't you think, Kimberly? Oh, he's okay. Oh, relatively speaking. Did you just say kill me?
Damn it.
Yeah, he doesn't even care about his own men.
Kimberly, get away. You're kidding. No.
What? Oh! Oh! Hello? That's not... Oh wait, this is serious. Like, serious? That's a really bad place to get hit. Understatement of the year, I know. Oh my god. You good, Ed?
Al? What's wrong? Al! Al!
Oh no. I'm being pulled back again.
Okay.
What? Hold back?
I thought that had something to do with what happened to Ed.
Al!
Oh no.
Body. It's pulling my soul.
Al! Al!
His soul is being pulled away.
Do you know if anything like this has ever happened before, Winry?
I don't know.
I want to be so concerned about this, but like, I'm just...
Al!
Hold on, too much is happening at once.
No. Al!
The episode's about to end, isn't it?
Al!
Don't do it.
What do we do?
Don't.
What do we do?
Don't. Okay, wait, no, he's still good. I thought it was really gonna end there.
I won't make her cry. Especially not over something this stupid.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You could just, like, leave it in there, I guess. If you pull it out, it would cause a lot of extra bleeding.
Damn, Kimberly's gonna pay.
Now they're gonna help him because...
Hey, Full Metal Kid, you still
Help them.
alive? What made you decide to rescue us? You're more injured than we are.
It's just what he's about, man.
Don't get the wrong idea. I can't pull this out of my stomach on my own. I could use a little bit of help.
I feel like if you pull that out of your stomach, it
Just
makes it
5
worse.
minutes ago, and now you're asking us to save your life?
Yeah, basically.
Worth a shot, he can't do it on his own. He has to rely on them.
It's not like we were given orders to kill you. Come on. You know, kid, you're gonna bleed to death pretty quickly once I pull this.
Right, that's what I'm concerned about.
Heal it. As soon as it's out of me, I'll close up the wound with alchemy.
What? Have you
Cauterize
ever
it, I
performed
guess.
any kind of medical alchemy before?
Sort of. I did some research on it.
Okay.
When I tried human transmutation.
Just some research? Your guts have gotta be all messed up. You're gonna need a philosopher's stone to make this work.
Yeah, you also need Mei Cheng,
I
because...
have to use my own life force. The same way I would use a stone.
Use your own life force to save your own life.
My lifespan, though.
You're positive?
I don't really have time to think about it. If this is really what showing mercy is gonna cost me, then I'm gonna have to learn to pay the price. Right?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds
Oh.
like you're sure.
Oh my god, there's so much to talk about. Be sure to stay for the next discussion. I think the episode's probably close to done, but I got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
I've got to picture myself as a single mass of energy. Use the energy, just like the stone.
Yeah, if you can even focus on doing alchemy with all that pain.
That's it. I am a philosopher's stone that's powered by a single soul! Remember what it felt like at that moment! Remember how it felt to
Just,
use souls!
you know, not passing out as this is happening and being able to focus to do the alchemy is just insane on its own. He's talented, what can you say? That's really impressive.
Did he make it?
You can't kill me that easily.
Huh? You mean it worked?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that I'm healed. I rejoined my undamaged organs. And I've managed to stop the bleeding. But it won't last for long.
Oh, okay.
Then you need a real doctor.
No. I don't have time for that.
What?
What?
I've got to stop Kimblee before he gets to...
But at least Al gave them the warning so they know where to go. They have a safe place to go to get away temporarily.
Idiot. There's no way you can fight Kimblee in your condition.
My god, there's so much to talk about. This is unbelievable.
What is it? Whoa.
Oh wow, you left
Stone,
one.
huh? I guess Mr. Kimblee must have lost it.
That's perfect.
Calling that freak Mister. He's not our boss. Not since he almost killed us. That's a good point. How about we make our resignation official? Let's just hold on to our freedom and let the bastard think we died in the rubble.
Probably a good call.
What do we do with him?
Use the stone to heal
We
him.
can't just leave him here to die. We do owe him our lives, after all. Very true. First things first.
I love how all the Chimeras are just joining them.
Gotta find him a doctor, right?
Yeah, for sure. Ah, this is such... And it's gonna end with this music, man. Alright, buckle up. This might be a lengthy end of the episode discussion this time around because I have a lot to talk about. I really don't know where to start off on this one, so I'm gonna go back to something I saw a lot earlier in the episode.
There might be another way.
Have you forgotten the first law of Briggs? The careless are the first to die. You show mercy in this place, and I guarantee it's gonna get you or your friends killed.
And what happened? Well, he didn't get killed, but he did get impaled. He got impaled by a giant piece of metal. It turns out what Miles said actually came back immediately relevant in this same episode. That wasn't actually the quote I was going back to look for, but I heard him say that and I thought, holy crap, that's actually super relevant. What I was actually going back to look for was when Miles was talking to one of his men. He was talking about how the Elric brothers have chosen the more difficult path, the path of letting your opponents live, as well as how he and his men thought the same way before they kind of got into the battlefield and gained their own experience. And in typical Full Metal fashion, this applies to way more than just them. Thinking back to Roy Mustang and Riza Hawkeye in particular, and I guess Armstrong as well, Alex Louis Armstrong of course. Back in the Ishval War, they kind of had similar convictions. They didn't want to hurt people, they wanted to help people. But after they went through the Ishval War, they sort of changed. At least they changed in their willingness to kill. So it's really interesting how all these characters have this almost shared similar perspective on things, even though they agree at heart with what Ed says. But I think that just kind of goes to show how incredibly strong of a conviction the brothers have. Because Miles is talking to them as if they don't have the experience, and while they may not have the maybe as much as experience as some other people, they still have, I would say, enough experience to make their own call on something like that. But oh man, consequences were paid, weren't they? I really do appreciate how commonly in this anime that the tropes are subverted. Typically when a main character goes all mercy mode, you know, I refuse to kill you for whatever reason, because they're main characters and they're supposed to be like this icon of good typically. Usually it kind of just ends up working out for them, but it didn't really work out for Ed in this case. Kimblee got away. Nothing about Kimblee will have changed from all of this. Ed got impaled to the point that it nearly killed him. I just really appreciate how nothing is ever assured. You never really know how anything is going to play out, even if you kind of think you do. I just continuously get this vibe that no path is ever guaranteed and you kind of won't know until you walk it. The whole fight sequence was pretty cool. I think it's pretty crazy how Ed actually beat Kimblee. He beat Kimblee that had a Philosopher's Stone. Ed with no Philosopher's Stone beat Kimblee, who had been to war and has genocided tons of people. He beat him with the Philosopher's Stone. Of course, Ed could not have known about the second one, so that ended up getting the better of him. I don't know why Kimblee is so passive in these fights. It really doesn't make sense. In the fight with Scar too, he didn't really use much of his alchemy, even though he has the Philosopher's Stones. Maybe he's just too cocky, I don't know. Also, going back to what Miles said a little bit, he said that killing people is the harder choice, and I kind of talked about why that is, but Kimblee also talked about how hesitating is the easy thing to do, or at least Kimblee seems to have this opposite perspective, and that kind of plays into the whole Miles and Kimblee duality that we've been seeing a lot. Maybe I don't know if I'd call it a duality, but maybe just like a stark contrast. They're a rivalry in a lot of ways, especially with Miles being an Ishvalan and Kimblee being the one that, you know, I know I'm kind of all over the place. I'm sorry, this episode just had so much to it. But just thinking back a little bit more on what Miles said, that killing someone isn't as hard as letting them go. I know he believes that in a literal sense, but it also kind of makes me wonder if there's some other kind of meanings to that. It makes me think of just like the process of letting go of things and like forgiveness and whatnot. For instance, it's so much easier to keep a grudge someone than to forgive them, you know, killing someone versus letting them go. And just letting things go in general is almost underrated. I know it's a weird word to use. It's underrated in how hard it is to do. And I'm sure if my brain wasn't so overwhelmed with everything that happened this episode, I could probably relate that directly to many different things that have happened throughout the series. I kind of want to leave this off on the final thought about Kimblee's men, the Chimeras, and how like I said, I like how all of them are sort of gradually joining Ed's side. And I think that's really convenient for a plot sense, but I think there's definitely something to that. There is the really observable and surface level thing about how Kimblee obviously doesn't care about his men, and whenever his men end up seeing that, they end up wanting to switch sides because, you know, why wouldn't they? But like the Lion Chimera said, they could just lay low, pretend they died, and go off and live their lives, you know? They don't have to be part of this anymore at all. But it's something about Ed's compassion, his kindness, his convictions, and his just almost leadership skills that really draw people in, so they end up joining him instead. It's just another really good way to draw this like stark contrast line between Ed and Kimblee just to show how different they really are. And the Chimeras at the end of the day, something I've been saying ever since episode 13 when we met the original Greed and his Chimeras. The Chimeras are not really freaks of nature by any means. Like, I know physically some of them can be a bit weird, but they really are just super humanistic. They're very human-like. I know they are humans. I'm not trying to say they're not, but I think it's almost to prove a point that they're treated like outcasts and freaks, but in reality, they're just not that much different than anybody else. Who are the real monsters in this show? The question that is kind of just looming overhead this entire time. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm very much looking forward to watching the next episode, and I'll see you then. Later.